And there was also a woman watching from a distance, among whom was also Miriam from Magdala, and Miriam the mother of Jacob, and the less of Joseph, and Shimon, who also followed him and attended him when he was in Galilee, and many other women who came up with him to Jerusalem. And when evening had come, because it was the presentation day, that is, the day before Shabbat.
It says when evening had come. They said that was the preparation. They said the preparation day.
That's right.
Let's go back to those charts real fast. I want you to see this. It says when evening had come, that was the preparation day. Okay, what is the preparation day? Sunrise or sunrise? The preparation day is right here. The 14th is actually the preparation day. That's when you're getting everything ready for the night. And not only tonight, you're making sure everything is ready for the 15th, because all 11. This is your last chance to get everything in order. Okay? So Yahushua was taking the trial, right? 14th in the daytime. Now, go back to the evening chart. Let me do that first. If you're going by evening to evening with Yahushua, if you're going from evening to evening to Yahushua, that means that he was actually slain on the 13th if you're going from evening to evening. So when the 14th comes, he was the Passover. Okay? That is not right. That he couldn't have been slain on the 13th, because Yah says kill the lamb on the 14th. The lamb has to be slain on the 14th day. That is the Pesach. That is the Passover. He can't be slain on the 13th. The 13th is nowhere ever read. I haven't read a text yet that said the 13th was the preparation day. The 14th is the preparation day in the daytime, in the light side of the 14th. When the evening comes, you're slaughtering the lamb. All right, go back to evening to evening. So on the 14th, he's slain around 3 o'clock. Okay? The 9th hour, 3 o'clock, he cries out. He gives up the ruach. Okay? Then the evening comes, it says it's the 14th, is the preparation day before the Sabbath. What Sabbath? If you're going evening to evening, if it's the preparation day before the Sabbath, that is the 15th. Technically, if you're going evening to evening, that would be the 15th. But it says when the evening came, it was the preparation day. Okay? So this is still the preparation day. The evening comes, and then it says before the Sabbath. Now, we just read in Shemot chapter 12 that the first day of unleavened bread is a Sabbath, and the last day. So not before the weekly Sabbath, before the Feast of Unleavened Bread Sabbath, which is why they couldn't touch him. They couldn't deal with him, because they knew the Sabbath would come and they would be unclean.
Joseph of Arimathea, a prominent council member who was himself waiting for the reign of Elohim, came boldly, went in to Pilate and asked for the body of Yahushua. But Pilate wondered whether he was already dead. So summoning the captain, he asked him if he was already dead. And when he learned this from the captain, he gave the body to Joseph. And he, having bought fine linen, took him down and wrapped him in the linen, and he laid him in the tomb which had been hewn out of rock, and rolled a stone against the entrance of the tomb. And Miriam from Magdala and Miriam, mother of Joseph, saw where he was laid.
All right, so these two sisters saw where he was laid. His mom and a friend of the family, they saw where he was laid. Why did they go look? Because they were going to put the spices and things on the body. They knew they couldn't touch it because the Shabbat was coming in.
That's right.
It was already evening, so we know that didn't change the day. There was still the preparation day. Now, if you read verse 16, it says that when the Shabbat was passed, what Shabbat? The 15th. They came on the 16th, all right? And Miriam, the mother of Yaakov, Shalom, brought spices to go anoint him. Okay, so now they're coming to anoint him on the 16th. Really, a day had only passed. But it was still the third day from his death. Day 1, day 2, day 3. All right? To anoint him. And very early on the first day of the week, they came to the tomb when the sun had risen. Okay? So they came to the tomb on the first day. But it was the day afterward. Okay? Alright, now let's go to John chapter 19, verse 20. Now I just want to give you a another quick example of this. So some people say, "Now you're going with the doctrines. That's these Gentiles that's giving you this doctrine." Well, the Gentiles believe the day started at night too. Why do you think they start the day at 12 a.m., midnight? That's when they start the day. So they believe in night reckoning, evening reckoning, really. They believe in the same thing. All right? Let's start 20 verse 1. Should we go? 20 verse 1.
20 verse 1. And on the day of the week, when Miriam from Magdala came early to the tomb while it was still dark, and saw that the stone had been removed from the tomb.
Oh, there you go. There you go. That means it was evening to evening. It was still dark. But it was the first day of the week. Well, if you know anything about the sun rising, it rises in the east, which means the east side is what gets light first.
That's right.
So it is still dark in certain places until it gets up high enough where the light can spread, where the light can consume once again. Okay? So it wasn't that it wasn't light outside. It was a fact of the sun was still rising. So it might have been still dark or darker or twilight where she was at, as they say. Or red, if you want to say that. Yeah. So let's go to verse 19 of the same chapter. So we know it was the first day of the week. The sun was rising, okay? Or before the sun was, or excuse me, it says, let me say how it says. Early in the tomb while it was still dark. First day of the week, okay? Now let's keep reading. Verse 19.
When therefore it was evening on that day, day 1 of the week.
Day 1, it's the same day, but it was evening.
That's right.
That's day 2. It was still evening. It was evening, but it was still day 1. Go ahead.
And when the doors were shut, where the taught ones met, for fear of Yehudim, Yahushua came and stood in the midst and said to them, Shalom unto you.
All right. So here we see again, on the first day of the week, it was still dark, okay, because the sun was rising. When the evening came, it was still the first day of the week. That's funny. Okay, let's keep going. Let's see what else. Let's see what else we got here. Yom Kippur. This is one of the controversies. This is where you're gonna get it. Come on, brothers. Vayikra, Leviticus 23. That's where it tells you that the day is from evening to evening, right? Let's read it. Let's go there. Let's go there. Vayikra chapter 23. We're gonna start at verse 32. You that study and you that, brothers and sisters that study, you know what Vayikra chapter 23 is all about. It's about the feast days, the ordinances concerning the feast days primarily. We're going to get some truth out of this. Because this one throws people off. This is where they get a lot of there you go, it's evening to evening. Alright?
Okay.
Verse 23.
And it shall be unto you a Shabbat of solemn rest, and you shall afflict your souls. And in the 9th day of the month at evening, from evening unto evening, shall you keep your Shabbat.
Oh, it said on the 9th day at evening until the 10th day at evening, right?
That's right.
You shall keep your Shabbat. Right? Read that one more time. I just want to make sure we're getting this right.
And it shall be unto you a Shabbat of solemn rest, and you shall afflict your souls in the 9th day of the month at evening, from evening unto evening, shall you keep your Shabbat.
There you got it. Let's stop the lesson. Let's end it. Evening to evening. We don't need to talk about nothing else, brother. No, let's take a deeper look at it. Let's get some understanding. He says from the 9th day at evening to the 10th day at evening, you shall afflict your beings. What are we talking about here? First of all, we're talking about Yom Kippur. We're talking about the Day of Atonement. Obviously, Yah is showing that this is a special Shabbat, considering that all the feast days, except for, well, all of them, you know what I'm saying, primarily have a Shabbat in them. But he never tells us to observe it from in the evening. Ain't that funny? And the only thing he tells us to observe in the evening is the Pesach, to eat it, to kill and eat the lamb in the evening. And this day, Yom Kippur, those are the only 2 days he tells us. And he says from the evening of the 9th to the evening of the 10th. Why does Yah say that? See? Oh, but he's talking about from evening to evening, observe your Shabbat. Well, first of all, Yah didn't call this Shabbat your Shabbat nowhere in Torah. So all of a sudden he called this your Shabbat.
That's right.
There's a reason why he called it your Shabbat, because it's for what? What is it for? Yisrael?
It's for them.
It's for us. It's for the atonement of our sins.
That's right.
It shows us ceasing from our own ways and our own deeds. Looking, why do you afflict your beings? We afflict our beings to hear from Yah. To see if we're forgiven.
To draw your soul out.
Come on now. This is a special Shabbat. He's not talking about the weekly Shabbat. He already addressed the weekly Shabbat. Let's go back to verse 2 of the same chapter.
The appointed seasons of Yahweh, which you shall proclaim to be holy convocations, even these are my appointed seasons.
So he said, these are mine. He didn't say these were yours. He said, these are my appointed seasons. All right? What's the first one?
6 days shall work be done. But on the 7th day is a Shabbat of solemn rest, a holy convocation. You shall do no manner of work. It is a Shabbat unto Yahweh in all your dwellings.
So he didn't say anything about evening. He just told you 6 days shall you work. The 7th day is a Shabbat. A set apart gathering. A Shabbat of rest. A ceasing. Okay? A set apart gathering. You do no work. It is a Shabbat to who?
To Yahweh.
Not to me. That ain't my Shabbat.
That's his Shabbat.
That's a Shabbat unto him. But then, in verse 32, he says, that's your Shabbat. On the 9th day of the month, at evening, from evening to evening, you observe your Shabbat. Are we getting some understanding, Yisrael? You observe your Shabbat. That's for your atonement. Now wait on me and see if I atone for your sins.
Come on
now when you read ancient writings, you see that they did wait for that approval.
That's right.
Why to the evening of the 10th? See, the day only has one evening in it, according to y'all, right? That's the teaching evening. Let's go back to the chart.